Greetings everybody and welcome back to my ASMR channel. So today I thought I would show off this LED light that I have in here. I'll show you the packaging first. A company sent me this a little while ago for a YouTube video on my other channel, and I've had this for about 4 years, maybe 5 years, and I thought it'd be kind of a cool one to do a little show and tell about. So, comes in this little bag here. I guess it's not little, it's kind of larger. Has a nylon handle here. Nice case, there's some rigidity to it. There's a little blue accent here in the piping, and then the handles are sewn together for a little bit easier handling. So when you open this up, you have the light and some accessories. There's these foam padded dividers here. Have little Velcro ends so that you can place them where you want to and they'll stay put. Gonna make some nice squishy sounds. The outside here is all plastic. It's kind of hard to show that on camera. So starting from the right here is you have a power cable, or a power adapter I should say. And this one has a few feet of cable on the end. And there's a barrel adapter. Hopefully that'll focus. So this is for if you want to use it with the power. This has a 2-pin connector here. This other cable is in the box here, or in the back really. This one you can see I haven't used. I have quite a few of these over the years. And so I just kind of leave this one in here with its original twist tie on it. And there's probably maybe 6 feet of length. So I'm just going to leave that right in here. This side is a good side for longer accessories and power accessories. So you have the power brick. Smooth, well, kind of texturized on one side. A little stripe on the side that's kind of got some reflectiveness on it. And on the back, you have your information this is a 18 volt, 5 amp power adapter. And it does have this little thing in the middle. I googled this once and found out what it was for, but I have forgotten. So if you know, you're welcome to leave it in the comments. But I believe it has something to do with grounding, since there's not a grounding plug on this side. Let's go ahead and pack that in nicely. I'll do the light last, because that's kind of the funnest one. Over here you have a reflector. As you can tell, it's made of metal. You can almost get like a singing bowl effect from it. Kind of an interesting sound. So this is a reflector. I think it's around 5 inches. And this has a mini Bowens mount on the back side. The Bowens mount, regular size, looks just like this, with the 3 little nubs here to sit into your light and then twist, kind of a twist lock bayonet style. And this one is a lot smaller. The regular size Bowens mount is actually about the size of the diameter of this. Maybe a little bit smaller. This is a mini light, so it has this tiny little one, which I like, but at the same time, it's very proprietary. I only have one of these, so if this breaks, I'd have to find a new one. Whereas with the Bowens mounts, I have a lot of them, so I'd have an extra if this broke. But the nice thing is, there's adapters, or an adapter for Bowens mount. So you can see on this back side, this is the actual Bowens mount. And then on the other side is the smaller mount. So you can see Bowens mount is roughly the same size. I don't know why I need to prove that, but there's some information for you. Put that in very gently. So this thing is a Bowens adapter, which means you can attach the light onto this back side, and then, you attach the light onto this side, and then you can rotate it around, and then attach a regular sized Bowens adapter or Bowens modifier onto here. And this is made of plastic. Probably not the greatest of sounds. But what this has is a lever here. So this is what you pull when you want to release the modifier. Pull this little tab back and it unlocks it so you can twist it out just on these little circular areas here. And then right in here you have an umbrella slot. And on the back side there's this little screw that'll allow you to put an umbrella through here, and then you can tighten it down in here so it won't slide out or fall out if you're pointing this downward, or be removed if you're in like a windy situation. So you have that with this little screw knob here, and then on this side you have a little ratcheting handle, and ratcheting means you can tighten it one way and then pull it out and then move just the handle while the screw stays in place, and then you can reposition it and retighten it to get a much tighter grip. And it's kind of helpful because this mount or the head actually kind of gets in the way. So if I were to loosen it all the way here, you see that it sort of gets in the way. You can kind of sort of wiggle it. There's a little play in the screw head. You can wiggle it out of the way, but once it starts getting tight and the play head, or the loose area of the play head tightens up, it's a little harder to tighten it past the top here. So that makes the ratchet really nice. And then on the bottom here, you have a standard stand mount. I believe this is called a baby pin. And you have your regular thread here. And this will allow you to tighten the mount onto the stand. I don't know why, but this is kind of fun to do. To me right now, this feels very relaxing. There's not a lot of sounds, but the movement's kind of nice. Hopefully you can't hear the cars driving by too loudly. My neighborhood's kind of busy right now. So there's the mount. I might loosen this up just a little bit so I can bend this and place it in here. It does look like there's something else in here. A little cable. So we have a little cable here, and this will go, I believe, to batteries. So if you wanted to charge this or power this via the batteries in like a port, because some batteries, a couple right here, have this barrel port. Which means you can charge or power this via the battery if for some reason these get broken, or if you want to use this to power something else and then use the second power port option, you have that. But I also think, if I'm remembering correctly, and I haven't really used this in about 4 or 5 years, let's pull this light out real fast. So this is the light itself. It is called it's a Ninja. It's a Ninja 300. So I believe that means there's 300 watts. So it's by a company called Weeylite, which I'm not 100% sure if they're still in business. Some of these companies will send out things and try and get their name out there and then don't usually make it. But they might still be around. I'd have to look up on internet and see. So this is the light. It has a single yoke, which is kind of interesting, which means you have one side of the light is held on. So we'll actually, let me look real fast. So this cable here, if I remember, you'd place it in the back here, and then it would go to the power port. So that allows the batteries to sit in here and send power through the cable into the light. Whereas normally you could use it without this thing on the side, maybe save some weight, and then you wouldn't need the cable, and you can power it just via the power thingy on here. So this barrel would go into here instead. So on the light you have a back panel, which has an LCD screen. I have a couple of buttons, on or an off switch, a dimmer knob, and then your power port, along with the USB-C. On the side, you have a adapter which allows you to fit in these Sony batteries. This is a larger capacity NPF style battery. And then on the front of it you have your LED itself. Let me find the button and take off the cap. Has this safety cap on it. And there's about a 1-inch LED chip. These are called COB lights. That means chip on board. It means the LED chip is soldered right to the PCB board. So you have that. You can put on this Bowens mount, or mini Bowens mount, reflector. I'll remove it really quickly so it's easier to fit in frame. And I'll place this on real fast. On the other side you have the spot where the yoke attaches. These cool green accent twist knobs. And there is, maybe you can see here, there's some teeth on the side, which is really nice, so you can get it into place, and then you can twist this down, and it stays really firmly in place. And then on the bottom you have these fins for airflow. And then on the top, you got some more fins, so the air can flow from the bottom or the top, or one way or the other. Let's see if I can power this up real fast. Place this right here. Just gonna let it weasel down in here for a moment. So I have a couple of these batteries. You can get different sizes of batteries. These are the larger ones. They have a little bit smaller one. all the way down to really tiny ones. And there's also just a little bit bigger one. This has a USB-C on it. I believe you can charge it and use it as a charger. So I think you have to have matching current batteries. So I'm going to put a larger one of these and a second one. I think one of these is mostly dead, so we'll see if this power's on. So if you have a larger set of batteries, the light does become just a little bit unruly to have this huge weight of power hanging off the side, which is kind of a big reason I didn't really use it. So it's powered it on. There we go. There's a little fan, so hopefully it's not too loud. There might be a way to turn it off. Some good clicks though. So it is on. Oh, let me turn off the little protective thing so it doesn't get too hot. So this is on 3%. It can get pretty bright. Maybe I'm just gonna go up to 100% just for fun. So that's 100%. I think you can go into the menu somewhere. Oh, here we go. You can turn on the some power, some speed. I haven't really looked at this in a while, so I'm not really sure what these all do. I thought the speed would be the speed of the fan, but it might be the speed of the curve. Put it on normal. And then hit OK. Pretty basic light. You can also link it to Bluetooth and power it with a Bluetooth app. I believe Weeylite has their own app. I'll turn this off real fast just so the fan doesn't blow. And I'll pull these out. Set them to the side. Set this one to the side. I'll put its protective cover back on. And then remove the cable. It's a good kind of snug fit in there. Place this down here in the power area. So this is a pretty fun little light. It's very small, so if you're powering this off of mains power, it's actually a pretty small little light, pretty useful little light to have in just in a tiny area. And I believe it says Weeylite Ninja 300. I wouldn't suspect this is actually 300 watts. I'll bet it's more like 60. And that's probably just a product name. But a lot of the product names, the numbers are actually the wattage. So, to be able to pack that much wattage into this size, it'd be kind of cool. I did measurements and all that stuff on it, so I'd have to go look at my old notes. They're saved somewhere on the hard drive somewhere. But might be only around 60 to 100 watts. But that is the LED light I have. I have a few more LED lights that I can show off for future show and tell. So, hopefully you like this.